That's a great ad. I love that.
What's up? I'm Jake Brend with Bigger Than 12, joined by my co-host Derek Duke, where every Sunday we break down the Big 12 Conference.
We'll recap the full day in the Big 12 and look ahead to next week.
We talk a lot of Iowa State, but it's not just Cyclones. We go from Morgantown to Salt Lake City and everywhere in between. Be sure to check out Bigger Than 12 every Sunday here on Iowa Everywhere.
It's all I can do.
Murph and Andy, talking sports and more, exclusively on Iowa Everywhere. From the Channel Seed Studios, here are Keith Murphy and Andy Fales.
Murph and Andy, again from Arizona and Iowa. Good to be with you here on a Monday. Andy, I have a plane leaving, departing at 3 p.m. your time. So getting in one podcast, flying back, anchoring the 9 and 10 p.m. sports tonight.
Oh, you are? Okay, I didn't know you would be back
yeah.
At the TV station tonight. Okay, we'll
putting in a half day, but trying to maximize our time here on Parents Weekend. We've had a great time. I'm kind of one of the older dads. You know, their dad's Colin's our youngest. I'm one of the older dads, for sure.
I got that going for me too. Yeah, older dads.
But the nice thing for us is, like, last night we were reflecting on it. It just feels really good. Like, Colin didn't really want to go back to his apartment right away. He just really enjoyed hanging out with us, and I don't take that for granted. That feels good, because we always talk to a parent or two who doesn't feel like their kids really want to spend much time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we appreciate that, and hopefully it's partly because we're fun. We're trying to be fun. So we've had a good weekend here. By the way, it's another sports equinox today. Were you aware of this?
Well, we got everything.
Yeah, we got everything. We have World Series, Monday Night Football, 11 NBA games. How many hockey games? 1, 2, 3. We have 2 hockey games. All you need is one. 2 NHL games and 2 MLS games if you want to add one more league. So we got the sports equinox going here tonight. That also means we're probably pre-recording that 9 p.m. Fox News, right? Because the World Series is on Fox.
Yeah, which I love it when we do that. As much as it's part of my job. So we don't have to do any commercial breaks. We can just pre-record that stuff, get that 9 o'clock knocked out in about 40 minutes. It's great. I would love to do that every night.
I'll put in a request for you. Guest House Tavern and Oyster in West Des Moines sets the table for sports and more here on a Murph and Andy Monday. Coming up, surging Hawks, fading Clones, and mic grab. It is all presented by Guest House Tavern with nightly specials, including Kentucky Fried Tuesdays. That's fried chicken and sides, half off select bourbon, and whiskey pours. Right now, high or low since our last show.
Presented by Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax.
Yeah, Wealth Charter Retirement Planning and Tax, the place to turn for advice on all your finances, whether it's tax, whether it's retirement savings, all of the above. They've got it there. I had a good fall weekend here. Had a Halloween party to go to on Saturday night, and I made some. I dressed up as an old time bartender, so I made some moonshine to take with me. Some apple pie moonshine. I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there that have had that before. It's really good. And it was good Missouri moonshine too. I use the Everclear from Missouri. Not the dumbed down stuff that we get up here in Iowa. The full 190. 190 proof, man. That's just pure gasoline.
Made in the woods somewhere.
Yeah, man. You can, like, if you run out of gas, you can pour that in your car and run another 10 miles. But it tastes so good. It's so good. It's like too good. And you got to be careful with that stuff. But I
imagine.
It was really popular. I made that. I always kind of do that at this time of the year. It makes me feel like fall. Got some good fall weather. It was a good fall weekend. Football, all that stuff.
We had a good weekend here, family weekend, parents weekend, hanging out with Colin. Other than the fraternity parties in the parking garage. Everything went really well. That was the most crowded, claustrophobic place I've ever been. And they ran out of all beer, water, pop, alcohol, anything before we even got there. People couldn't even move. You're like shuffling through this parking garage right across the street from what I still consider Sun Devil Stadium. It's got some other name at this point, but so we're in there, we're packed. I mean, we're miserable. The police they're being really cool, but they're slowly pushing people toward the field by lining up like 30 bikes and doing just a gradual push to get people out. And Colin feels bad, and he's paid $20 for each of us to be there. So he's $60 in, nothing available. So finally, he finds some friend who has something called like a Kirkland seltzer. It's from Costco. Yeah. It's the worst thing I've ever tasted. It was warm. It wasn't on ice. It wasn't cold. It was terrible. It was like mango flavored. Did we still attempt to drink it? Yes. At this point, we would have drank a puddle. We had been in there. It was hot. You know, it's in the mid to late 80s here, even this time of year. That was the only bad experience we had. And even that, Jenny just kept laughing. I was like, well, how can you find this fun? She said, it's not fun. It's just funny. It's so awful that I'll never forget this.
Boys that age are not capable of really planning an event. They're really not. I mean, we were all there. We know what it was like. You're like, oh, well, if I get, 12 beers, there are 12 people. That's right. That's enough. Or, there are 12 people. So, some of them will drink something else. So 6 bottles of water will be enough.
I remember one time, Jenny went over, Charlie and AJ were having a fraternity party over at the University of Iowa's Mom's Weekend. And they were supposed to put out this big spread for all the moms. This is like a lot of moms. And there's like a cheese and meat tray.
Yeah, like one little one, like a 12-inch meat tray.
It comes in that plastic that, you've seen it 100 times. Like, wait, that's for everybody? That's the planning there? But then we went to the game. It was sold out. It was fun, but Arizona State lost at home for the first time
I saw that.
in a long time. You can probably, if you're looking at a photo here, that's Jackie Jarris right behind me, worked at WHO 13 for a long time.
Oh, okay, yeah.
She's flanked by her husband, and her son there is one of Colin's best friends. His name's Ashton. So just had a really good experience here. It's our final one. We're all planning the graduation party. All the parents are going to go in, or just the gathering for that weekend, which is coming up in, is that April or May, Jenny? May. Coming up in May. So looking forward to that. Had a good time. And I always appreciate that I can hang out and do this show for an hour and a half on a Friday, or in this case on a Monday. That's nice. It's a good experience. Keeps me in touch.
Yep. Don't have to wait to talk about those games that we saw over the weekend.
Yeah, let's do that now. Let's catch the buzz.
The Buzz. Brought to you by Logier Heating and Cooling.
Providing heating and cooling solutions for more than a century. Thank you, Logier. Well, Iowa is still in play, you may have heard, for the college football playoff. That's not just Chris Hassel saying it. It's coming up in national conversations now, because the thought is the Big Ten's probably going to end up getting 4 teams in the college football playoff, and it's, I don't think it's likely, but it's possible, and that's what you want if you're a fan. Just like it was possible for Iowa State last year, it is possible for Iowa now. And Andy, coming up, not this Saturday, but the following, that's one of the biggest games at Kinnick Stadium in a long, long time against Oregon.
Yeah, and just really the rest of the season here, filled with great opportunities, really interesting games, fun games, a real good rivalry still left on the table. I mean, there's just a lot for Iowa fans to be excited about, like, every week. And, when it was first mentioned, did Chris do that just last weekend, or did he maybe even go back before then? It was definitely last weekend, but he was kind of threw it out there, college football playoff possible. Right. And it was just like, okay, I understand that, like, mathematically you can make that work. And everybody was like, yeah, whatever. I don't think anybody expected Iowa to lose to Minnesota. So I don't think that's where people's minds changed, or we moved on from like mathematical possibility to this looks like a team that might belong in the college football playoff.
It's
But
how
we
good
ha-
the Hawkeyes
it-
looked.
Yeah, it is. And we are at that point. If you're objective, I mean, you're looking at this team right now as a team that is red hot. I mean, just simmering. I mean, they are hitting they are on point, every cylinder firing in line right now.
All phases, complementary football, and I think that's maybe AD has a fan's perspective on this. But I think the big difference is here when you had those 10 and 11 teams that had terrible offenses, you didn't really feel like you belonged in the college football playoff. And if you got into the Big Ten championship game, you knew you were going to be routed, and you knew that was probably going to end the dream right there. This is a really good football team. And if you watched Iowa against Wisconsin, Iowa against Minnesota, or even Iowa against what is arguably the best team in the country, Indiana, if you're being objective, you know that's a top 20 football team and not a team anybody wants to play right now, because you can no longer just say, well, they're terrible on offense. They're not terrible on offense.
The way Gronowski and Tim Lester have this offense humming right now, it is that complementary football. And then you add in the defense looks like it did a couple of years ago. It looks like they've recovered from a bad year last year. Special teams are still a little iffy, but you kind of have all those pieces. And I think you're exactly right, Murph. The way they played against Indiana and then what Indiana has done to everybody since then really gives you some confidence that, especially inside Kinnick Stadium, it's one of those seasons where nobody's safe in that environment.
And as we move over to Iowa State, before we go to the rewind here, Iowa State's on a big fade here. 3 straight losses after a 5-0 start and all the way up to number 12 in the AP rankings. Big 12 championship dream is done. The college football playoff is done. Arizona State is next. I just went to the Arizona State game Saturday night. Everyone looking at the schedule, seeing this game in Ames, had different expectations for the stakes here. I think most of us thought both teams would be in contention, but everybody thought at least one of these teams would be in contention. And Arizona State just lost to a good Houston team. Quarterback is out, top receivers out. They're on a fade. So this game just does not set up the way most of us thought it would at all.
No, and Iowa State fans are wondering, okay, can we steer out of the skid before the end of the season here?
Sure.
And so how soon? And, is anything above a 2-2 finish possible?
Right.
not realistic, but possible at this point. Yeah, I mean, what did we see from the team? What happened on Saturday?
Yep, and
There's just so many questions.
We're in that space again where we're seeing people say, like, well, if Iowa played Iowa State now, it'd be a whole different outcome. The game has been played. Iowa State won it. Any objective person would pick Iowa if Iowa's playing Iowa State right now, but that's not the way football works. The game was on the schedule. Iowa State won. Iowa State is not getting better. In fact, going the wrong direction, especially at the quarterback position. Iowa's getting better and surging, and this is not a surprise for a Kirk Ferentz team. They're just quite a bit better offensively than we've seen in a while. So let's get now to the Nostalgia Rewind, presented by Nostalgia from Barntown, THC Fruit Seltzers. Iowa takes the opening kick and marches right down the field on Minnesota.
Jazz gets the call. No, Gronowski, quarterback, sneak, touchdown, Iowa, touchdown. Mark Gronowski, number 11 via ground this season.
That audio is courtesy of Learfield. That's Gary Dolphin, voice of the Hawkeyes. And Gronowski's not just running touchdowns and scoring touchdowns. He's just bringing a confidence and leadership to the Hawks that you can tell this is working.
Yeah, he has some limitations, but
Yeah, he
he absolutely has far more upside than downside, and he does have a swagger about him. It looks like he's got an offense, probably a whole team, that feeds off of him and that feels good about him being the one taking the snaps, where you don't feel like he's a guy that has limitations, but he is absolutely not in any way, shape, or form a liability, which they've had at the quarterback spot for the longest time, it seems like. Guys that were just really unreliable at doing job one in that position. And, how many times have we wondered in the past, oh man, with this defense, if they had a quarterback that could do anything with his legs, buy any kind of time, get a little bit of yardage, throw downfield and hit a receiver. I mean, just do the little things, anything. Well, they've got that, and we're seeing kind of the result here. So it's exciting. But, the way that game opened, the place is just buzzing. It's electric. The fans are really excited. It's not a beautiful day or anything. It's just a cloudy fall day. The fans are packed into the stands, though, and it looked like Minnesota took 1 foot off the bus, got run over, and then tried to just spend the rest of the game climbing back onto the bus so they could go back to Minnesota, because they were totally blindsided.
These were 2 5-2 teams, and this is a Minnesota team with confidence coming off a 24-6 beating of Nebraska. So, yeah, I didn't see this route. I saw Iowa winning. I didn't see a route. You
could see it just early on, the push from the offensive line. We've seen this, many times in the Kirk Ferentz era, but Iowa's playing really well, where it seems like the guy, the runner, whether it's Gronowski or any of the backs, by the time they hit a tackler, they've already gained 3 yards. And then they're making somebody miss, and a lot of times there's a giant hole, and they're just running the ball. No matter who's carrying the ball, they're advancing it and just forcing their will on the defense. And that's absolutely what they did against Wisconsin. Definitely did that against Minnesota, and did it at times during against a Penn State team that still has a lot of talented players. But that's what they do when they're playing their best football. Is it looks like the defensive line is just falling forward, and the offensive line is just falling forward, and the defensive line is just getting pushed onto its back, almost like it's tipping over the moment the ball snapped.
Yeah, and this is cool to see Kirk Ferentz at age 70 get this kind of respect and buzz starting to build, and people starting to recognize beyond the borders of Iowa that, okay, this offense isn't that bad. And that does go back to a really tough decision that Beth Getz had to make to tell Kirk Ferentz, you got to fire your son. That you don't do that, this doesn't happen. And that had to be really hard for her, and she did it. And Hawkeye fans shouldn't forget that, because fathers and sons, man, I just spent this weekend with 2 of mine, and it's tough to be objective about your own kids. We said that many times, and Kirk Ferentz was not going to fire Brian, and Beth Getz made that tough call early in her time at Iowa, and the Ferentz family did not like it. But look where it's landed now.
It's always funny how we're happy with the offensive coordinator at Iowa when they're winning, and the moment that they're not, it's all his fault, and it doesn't matter who the coordinator is. It's all on Kirk Ferentz, and he has his hands on the wheel. A lot of this is Mark Gronowski. He has gotten better. He just simply looks like a guy with poise. And how long has it been since you could say that about the Iowa quarterback? It looks like a guy that, first of all, feels very fortunate to be doing what he's doing. And then also just is he's just having fun, right? He looks like a bully out there.
And Cade McNamara's swagger felt kind of forced, and I don't know, maybe it seems fake now because he just didn't deliver on any of his swagger, so maybe it's not fair to say it was fake. Maybe he really thought he was that good, but it once you can't back it up, it looks silly, and that's what happened to him. So let's get to the second quarter here as Gronowski throws his first Big Ten touchdown pass of the season.
Gronowski, play fake, wants to go to the end zone, fires down, caught, touchdown Iowa, touchdown Hawkeyes. What a beautiful throw and a great catch, and Reese Vanderzee has his first score of the year.
Good to have Vanderzee back. That makes it 24-0 in the second quarter. Then another 3-and-out for the Gophers, and then this happens.
In the air, caught, fair, no, not a fair catch. Weegan grabs it, and he may go. 35-30, 25-20, needs a blocker. Touchdown! Touchdown, Iowa! Touchdown!
And this is when AD decided it was time to sing Let It Go about the Cooper DeJean punt return invalid fair catch signal, right?
Yeah, because he caught that almost the exact same spot. You've now beaten Minnesota in Kinnick Stadium since that happened. You've returned a punt. It's always going to be there. It's always, the shirts are going to be funny. It's going to be a talking point, but it shouldn't be a pain point for Hawkeye fans anymore. Let that go. It's okay. You've exercised that demon. If PJ Fleck needs the officials to help him get a win against Iowa, hey, so be it. That's in the past. That's history. Let it go. Don't be upset about it anymore.
That's 5 returns for touchdowns to tie the great Tim Dwight. Still 11:30 left in the second quarter, but you could have started instant Iowa and Iowa everywhere right then.
Yep.
In the second half, Iowa grabbed 2 more interceptions. Team traded field goals. Then Jeremy Heklinski gets his first Hawkeye touchdown on a 6-yard keeper. 41-3. The final. Here are the Hawkeyes after the game.
I kind of blacked out, to be honest. I just saw the ball up in the air and try to do my best to get in the right position. And it was a great opportunity to go on that stage and get in the paint.
The blocking on that play, I didn't have to do much. I think Jaden Montgomery took out 2 linemen. Cohen took out the running back. I just had to make one person miss. So credit to those guys blocking downfield.
You guys have seen the people come through here. It's just an honor to be kind of involved with them, and I've had some great mentors, and I talked to Tim Dwight. He texted me before the game, so just seeing texts from guys like that, legends that came from here, it's just super good and gives me good confidence going into the game that those guys are watching and kind of do it for them as well.
Rowing the boat out there too.
Yeah,
how about that?
Yeah.
That video courtesy of David Warrington at WHO 13. Thank you, David. So it's all out there. Oregon in 12 days. It is the biggest game since when for Iowa? Penn State 4 years ago?
Yeah.
I don't remember what did their season look like at that point, the Penn State game?
Both teams were 5-0, ranked in the top 5. Iowa had won its 6 games previous to end the previous season, so it was on like an 11-0 win streak. I think Iowa was ranked 3rd and Penn State 4th or 5th.
Okay. Yep. That biggest since then. Yeah. That's a real big one.
That was a big one. But remind me, AD, who's the quarterback there?
That's Spencer Petras. It's Petras' second season. So you kind of knew he had some limitations, but you think it wasn't as bad. You remember he hit Ragaini late in that game on that nice pass for the game-winning touchdown. It was. And then, they lost at home to Purdue the next week, lost to Wisconsin the week after that, and it all really kind of fell apart. And that was the last high point of Hawkeye football.
So Iowa not ranked in the AP top 25. No, some fans are upset about it. Some think, well, it's chip on the shoulder. That Tuesday is when it matters, a week from.
The real poll comes out, right? Yeah.
And I think Iowa will be solidly in that top 25. There is no question. Iowa's reputation and transition into a little bit of a national punchline for bad offense. The reputation hurts on this a little bit because it's a top 25 team right now. Any objective person would agree to that.
But, before you get too down about that and waste too much time worrying about that, remember this. This is why you're having so much fun right now. You thought this team was down and out after the Iowa State game. The Iowa fans were really forlorn. They thought this was going to be just a mopey, barely above 500 season that was very forgettable.
Offense looked bad again.
Mark Gronowski was going to be another swing and a miss at bringing in a quarterback. There were no indications that you were going to have anywhere close to this type of a finish to the season. And that's why Iowa fans are this is found money that they've got right now. You're like, whoa, I didn't know this was coming. And how much better is it going to get? And man, why do we have to have a bye week right now? I want to play now. You didn't see this coming. And that makes it so much more fun. right? I mean, yeah, it's fun to roll into a season ranked in the top 5 and all that. I get all that. But, if you're going to pick the next best thing, it's to be pleasantly surprised, and not just pleasantly surprised, like pleasantly overjoyed by what your team grows into during the season. And they didn't do it late. I mean, there's still plenty of time to do something with this team.
Yeah, it's still out there. It's still out there.
Yeah, and it's because they were down, and now they're just methodically marching their way back up the hill, and who knows how high they can get.
It's not still out there for the Cyclones. Iowa State, BYU now in the top 10, one of the remaining undefeated teams in the country, but the game started with a huge play.
Back to throw it, looks deep, has Eskelsen, over the shoulder catch, 20, 10, touchdown! First play of the game, backed 75 yards to Eskelsen.
That's John Walters, voice of the Cyclones, and that audio courtesy of Learfield. So BYU answered with a quick score of its own, but the Cyclones ended the first quarter with a double-digit lead.
Hold by Perkins, kick on the way, and it is good. Conradi hits from 36, and the Cyclones regain the lead. Rocco will give it to Hansen, up the middle, touchdown! Carson Hansen runs it in for his third rushing touchdown of the season.
Hansen back, Conradi back. I mean, a kicker being back doesn't usually excite a fan base like this did, but you understand why.
Yeah, everything is going for them at that point. I mean, they draw first blood. They give up the touchdown, but then it seemed like they figured it out defensively and it snapped back. They're running the ball really, really well. Both Hansen and Sama are both getting good yardage, and it looks like Iowa State has just answered the bell and come out throwing haymakers, and they're landing them on a really good BYU team, and it's looking like they are just going to, before they stop throwing those punches, they're going to have what I thought was going to be an insurmountable lead, right? You'd see BYU come back late in the second half, maybe make it a little bit interesting, but they just put on way too many points early on, and they rode out the win. I thought that was what was going to happen in my mind. I absolutely felt it.
A red zone interception stopped the Cyclones' next drive, but it did not slow down the offense.
And here's a direct snap to Hansen. He runs it off the left side. And is he in or not? I thought he was.
He's way in.
It's close.
He's in.
He is in for the touchdown. Carson Hansen with his second rushing touchdown of the day.
It's 24-10. AD, we're having a little bit of a delay, aren't we? You doing okay?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Maybe it's just on my end where I am. I'm not catching all of these plays, but thank you for putting this together. I know it's a lot of work. So from that moment on, Andy, it's all Cougars. And I didn't think.
Well, I thought the red zone interception did change the offense. I don't think the offense found its beat again. They scored a touchdown, but I thought that knocked them off their track. That changed the game from what I was describing. It looked like they were just came out swinging and connecting, and everything was working for them. To then they started sputtering. They had another touchdown. You're right. Held BYU to a field goal, but the plan of just running up the score on this really good team was changed at that point with that terrible interception, which you saw that. I mean, Bramer had just made this amazing one-handed catch, and the whole stadium is going nuts.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were gonna score a touchdown on that drive and just keep up the slaughter at that point, but that interception was he was so far. He's looking at a receiver 7 or 8 yards down the field, I guess, and somehow doesn't see the defensive back who's right in front of him and throws it right to the defensive back. So I don't know that he was looking at the receiver because he's way short.
Yeah, it was bad, and from that moment on, all Cougars, including the quick score before halftime, which I think did matter, the long scoring drive in the third quarter, then a 65-yard run by Carson Hansen to the 10-yard line, but that only led to a field goal. Iowa State kicking a punted ball leading to a turnover and another BYU touchdown, a BYU pick six, a Cyclone turnover on downs at the BYU 23, and then a third Rocco Becht interception. I mean, we're to the point where, like, you could see Tom Skerritt just walking up to him and saying, truth is, you've got a confidence problem. He's got a confidence problem right now. So BYU ends the game on a 31-3 run, wins at 41-27, and after the game, Matt Campbell and Rocco Becht tried to find answers.
It's frustrating because I think some of those are coming from, a lack of poise right now, and I think you see that with our football team. And again, that's on me as the head football coach, and I also think that's on a young football team trying to grind through, a challenge right now. And so I don't see it as a lack of effort. I certainly don't see it as a lack of fight, but our detail and precision, we just got to be better in the moment. And those are things that we got to keep pounding away at. It starts with the head football coach, and we'll continue to do a great job of working on those things.
It's frustrating because I don't know. You try to see, like, find areas where you can get that answer, but I just don't know right now. And I think, we're doing everything during the week. We're going out to practice, practicing hard. Everybody's in the film room getting taught up, watching the extra film. I mean, we're doing all the little things during the week. It's just it's not translating onto the field like we would want it. Also, we had those games last year as well, and we were able to just help ourselves and finish the game. It's just this year we're not getting that, luck at the end of the game and finishing those close games. So we just got to be better.
A video courtesy of Jake Brend with Cyclone Fanatic, and Andy, that's an honest answer from Rocco Becht. I mean, he didn't try to polish that turd at all. He's just honest. He's like, I don't know. We're kind of lost right now.
No, a really thoughtful answer. You could see him thinking about the question and trying to answer it honestly. And I respect, I love the way that he holds himself. And
yes, he's likable. He's always likable and accountable.
Very likable guy. And this is a very likable team. I mean, it really is. And you feel bad for them because you see them pressing. And that's what they were doing. It was like all of a sudden they woke up and realized that they were up against an undefeated team, and they just blinked, right? And then it just blew their concentration from that point on. I mean, it was such an aggravating game to watch.
Yeah.
There were things that they continued to screw up. You mentioned the special teams and punts and that. That's driven me nuts this season. I mean, how many times have they had a fair catch at the 5-yard line? Or you're like, what are you doing? Put your heels on the 10, and anything that goes over your head, just let it maybe roll into the end zone. All of those things, so just really oddball screw ups on routine punts, catching. Yep. You just, what are you doing? You quit
football discipline. It's been lacking at times.
Quit handicapping yourself. So. I felt bad for the fans that were there. I had a number of friends that went up to that game, and they were really, really excited. And it really looked like they'd come out of the bye week, like rested, healthier. Carson Hansen looked really good. Conradi is back. Yeah. I mean, everything looked like, Dom Orange is out there, and he's leveling guys. I mean, it really looked like they were going to get it done, pull this season back onto the tracks and make some more forward momentum. And then all of a sudden they just blinked, right? And it went away.
First ever loss to BYU in football. And that is the Nostalgia Rewind presented by Barntown's Nostalgia THC Seltzers. Interact with others on YouTube. On X, it is Murph_Andy. And the email is Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. And it's all powered by the Cellular Advantage, where you can now get the best of T-Mobile's #1 ranked national plan with U.S. Cellular's #1 ranked Iowa plan. Some more hot topics, more coaches, another coach fired, another coach being paid an obscene amount of money to not coach. So Brian Kelly, fired by LSU, He's owed $54 million. There's some nuance to that. He has to go look for a job. That's part of the contract.
More fans all upset about these college football coaches ripping off their university.
Yep, $54 million. So that's just to break down. It's like $26,000 a day if he were to get the whole $54 million. So right now, Jimbo Fisher $77 million, Brian Kelly $54 million, James Franklin $49 million, Billy Napier $21 million to not coach, to just go away. Now, of two of those fired coaches, two of them started the season in the top 10. Penn State was
One of
number
the reasons
2.
they're fired.
It's a reason, expectations. LSU, they're not okay with like 3 losses and kind of being in the race. They want to win the national championship, and they've won it with other coaches. So 3 big openings among many openings. It's going to be a coaching carousel, the likes of which maybe we've never seen in college football, and we understand the reasons why. But here's the quickie poll from WCI Pools and Spas and Ames in Urbandale.
Of these 3, which Power 4 college football coaching vacancy is the best job? Florida, LSU, or Penn State?
Ooh.
I'm not surprised LSU is winning this. I think it might be Penn State. I don't think the expectations are quite as unreasonable there. And I think, like, James Franklin has come in, and I think they're finally past the scandals that were so awful and embarrassing to the university. At LSU, it's national championship or bust like every season. I don't know. I think most people would say that is the best job of these 3. Florida, they can win a national championship there too. These are all good jobs.
Florida's a great job, and you don't have the entire state looking at you like you do with these other 2 jobs. I mean, you got a lot of divided attention in the state of Florida. Still a lot of expectations, but there's Florida State and Miami. Penn State, there's only Penn State. Who's your next team there? Pitt? LSU, that's it, man. That's that whole state. Like, LSU football is everything. That Mardi Gras in that state. That's it.
Yes.
Tigers and hurricanes served straight up in a hurricane glass. That's it in LSU. I mean, that is, I think that's a cool job. That's a cool football program, stadium, tradition, all that kind of stuff. I think that's probably the worst job, though, when it comes to pressure. I mean, that's a pressure. You're in a crawfish boil every day down there.
And Brian Kelly I don't know Brian Kelly, but he does not come across as likable or authentic. So if you don't win enough and that's the way you come across, you're going to lose the fan base quickly. I mean, look how much, Dan McCarney benefited from just being likable and fans wanting him to succeed, for one example. Fran McCaffrey was kind of the opposite. I mean, it does matter. And Brian Kelly, when they didn't win as much as expected, most of the fans turned on him quickly.
Yeah, the problem with all 3 of these jobs is national championship is the bar. And Murph, you say that's not the case at Penn State. They fired the guy who was in the semifinals
that's a good point.
7
You're
games
right.
ago.
You're right. I'm wrong.
LSU may be the only place where you can actually win a national championship of these 3 jobs right now. So that's why I think it's the best job, because I think the expectations are the same everywhere.
I just think with all 3 of those jobs, they don't get to the likability factor with a coach anytime soon, right? It's like, okay, great. When are you going to win a championship? I mean, that's it. Winning is it. They don't care what kind of person you are at all. If you're winning, it doesn't matter. That is the only result, the only thing they're looking at. I mean, other schools, Iowa State, I mean, you have to look deeper than wins and losses. Iowa, you have to look deeper than wins and losses.
You do.
I mean, likability, that becomes a factor at schools where, we have to be more human about our fandom. But man, at those 3 schools, especially LSU and Penn State, I just don't, they're just like, man, I don't even want to know your name.
Sounds like they're going to go after Lane Kiffin hard and maybe Marcus Freeman.
That guy can coach, man.
Yeah, he can coach and he can recruit.
Coach.
But he can win a national championship at Ole Miss. He's contending this year. If I'm him, I'd stay at Ole Miss and not go to LSU. But we'll see.
He's going to get a big old buyout this year from Ole Miss.
The Brian Kelly fit was questioned as soon as a man from Massachusetts pretended he suddenly had a Cajun accent.
It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family, and we are so excited to be in the great state of Louisiana.
Family. My family.
My family. Nick Saban is not from the South. He's not from Louisiana, but he didn't put on some act when he was there. Ed Orgeron's the opposite. He sounded like he, belonged in the swamp. But so it's not just one kind of coach that can succeed, but going in there with my family. I mean, that just, and remember that stupid dance video that Sears made fun of?
Well, he just got
Yeah.
Oh my God! It just looks so bad. Now, I think, just run this by you guys real quick. I think with this coaching carousel, it's going to be nuts. I think if there is a silver lining of this Cyclone football season, it is that I don't think these big programs, these great jobs, these Penn States, certainly LSU, I don't think they can sell Matt Campbell to their fans right now. Now, I can feel some Cyclone fans or even analysts saying, no, hang on, you're wrong about that, because everyone knows what a great coach Matt Campbell is and what he would do with those resources. He's still going to be a contender. They just fired Brian Kelly and just fired James Franklin for losing a few games. You can't go to the LSU Tiger fan base and say, hey, that guy that's just lost 3 games in a row, we're bringing him to LSU. They're not looking for that kind of nuance. I'm not saying programs won't still come after Matt Campbell, and he has shown that many times people thought he would leave and he didn't. So he's done nothing but been loyal to Iowa State for 10 years. But I just don't think these elite jobs right now can sell a guy who's lost 3 straight games to their fans.
Well, there's so many jobs that are open, though. These schools are going to have
the trickle down could happen.
They're going to have to go deep, right? I mean, there's going to be guys. Not everybody is going to get a coach that the fan base honestly wants. I mean, there's just not enough guys out there that are going to be available. And again, Urban Meyer and Nick Saban. It would just be funny to see what those guys could get.
Oh, what do you think Saban could get if they could talk Miss Terry into letting him come back?
Or like
$100 million more?
Yeah, he could get whatever he wants, right? I mean, he could get whatever he wants. He could. I would love to see him just try, and go public in the end with what the offers that he got, because these are wealthy and more importantly desperate schools and fan bases, and that only have there's only one thing that will satisfy them, and that's a championship. And they've got, they're being driven crazy by the likes of Ohio State and now Indiana. Because these guys couldn't, I don't think any of these schools could hire a Kurt Cignetti. They could hire him, but not hire a coach in the vein of him,
right?
Someone who, is coming from a smaller school and needs to work his way up for a few years. I mean, they can't do that. It's just like they are not in that grade level.
No, patience is gone. There wasn't a lot of it before, but now in this NIL era where clearly more money is going to start going under the table and there's so much pressure at these programs to win. It's like AD said, it's not like James Franklin and Brian Kelly were failures at their jobs. These are winning programs, still winning some big games, but it's not enough. They want the national championship. Andy, something that probably satisfied you is we have another gruesome injury. Cam Scattaboo. It's got a lot of attention here in Tempe yesterday. Scattaboo, that ankle just going the wrong direction. Didn't this happen to you, Andrew?
Yeah, it's almost the exact same injury that I had in high school. My foot pointed the wrong way. Not fun.
No.
Yeah, there's a better shot than this.
Of course there's a better shot than this, you sick bastard.
It's not that I like it. I never said that I like it. I want to see it. All right? I don't want somebody saying, we're not going to show that to you. You can't handle it. No, I want to see it. I'll tell you what I can and can't handle.
Yeah.
Where his knee is actually bent, his his knee and shin are pointing north, and his foot is pointing west. It's like a right angle.
Jeez.
But
I did not see that.
The ones that tend to look the worst are the ones that I think are kind of the easiest to fix because it's just a delocated joint. And his ankle was dislocated. Or dislocated, I guess, technically his foot, right? I mean, the whole thing was dislocated from his lower leg, the bones in his lower leg, but it just went to the side, and they went to the hospital, and they straightened it back up again. But, oh, my God, yeah. I mean, you know how thick that guy, like how strong that guy's legs are.
Oh, jeez.
When you got I don't even know how big it was. That a 300-pound lineman that fell on him. I mean, the guy just put all his weight onto him while his foot was planted one direction and his body went the other. I actually watched this in-depth video where this orthopedic surgeon was talking about how these injuries happen in football. But then he pissed me off because he was like, "No, I won't show it to you." But
you want to see it?
No,
yeah.
well, so I had to go elsewhere to get the best shot. But
I hope he can come back from this.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I hope he can too. But the surgeon was like, "This is usually what happens. Their cleats go into the turf, and then their body moves one direction, and their foot doesn't." So the guy falls. He basically folded his leg.
It looks like the Pittsburgh Steelers learned nothing from the Iowa State Cyclones. They went out there in skin-colored pants last night and looked like a bunch of guys running around without pants on. Why would
Andrew,
don't do this?
What were you? Where was you? Did you even watch this game, Andrew? Who were you rooting for?
Yeah, I didn't watch it. I'll always root against the Packers, but yeah, did not watch it. Yeah, here's what Iowa State had a few years ago.
Yeah.
Something about the white T-shirts being out made it, I think, worse.
Look like underwear.
Exactly. It's like tiny whitey.
I don't know how that didn't get caught somewhere. Like, hey, I think that this kind of makes us look pantsless.
These uniforms were bad all the way around.
The first half, and we all caught plenty of this game because it kept us at work really late last night. But I was just like, man, Aaron Rodgers can still play quarterback in the NFL. He's still really good. He is. But Jordan Love, like the moment I said that out loud, he really started playing. God, was he good last night. He was amazing. Incredible game.
10-point win for the Packers. And now here's WHO 13's David Warrington doing a big game interview after Gilbert beat North Polk Friday.
Well, we've got some happy Tigers here in Gilbert, John. A massive win, dominant over North Polk. District champions again, undefeated. The list of accolades goes on. Got a couple of twin brothers here, Ethan and Aiden Rash. I'll start with you, Aiden. You had that big touchdown run to start things off, really set the tone. Just walk me through that play.
I mean, it was amazing. I saw Lepore, my day one. We've been friends since preschool.
Aiden took the mic.
Yeah. I always think that's kind of funny because they think you're just handing it to them.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, go ahead,
and look, you can tell that David does not want to give up the mic because you don't want to give up the mic. It's like, don't ever give up the mic. No matter what, don't give up the mic. And you can see right there, he's trying not to give it up, but Aiden is determined to take. Look, he pulls on it twice. He wants that mic. David is so nice. He just decides to not do a mic wrestle.
He did a good job. Yeah, he let it go there. He didn't want there to be a tug of war between the interview. It would have screwed up the vibe. He's live at that point, right?
Yeah. I don't remember. I'm not sure. I wasn't there, but he did a great job. And he's so nice. You could just see the thought bubble going over David's head. Like, I can't give up the mic, but this guy's really pulling on it. Watch him take it. 1, 2. He's got a glove on too. He's got a glove for the mic. Got a mic glove. Confluence is the official beer of Murph and Andy. Confluence proudly serving the new light lager Old Tavern, available most everywhere. And if you don't see it, please ask for it. Now let's get some more.
But wait, there's more from Either Or Eatery and Patio.
Either Or Eatery and Patio, 6222 Grand Avenue. Still partying out on the patio. They got heaters out there. Beautiful nights we've had recently on the weekends, and people have still been filling the place up. Parking lot is full, but it moves over there. Don't worry. Check it out. Halloween night forecast looking pretty good right now. looking dry in the 50s. Going to be a little cool. Might be a few costumes ruined by mothers insisting that the kids wear their winter coat over them, but no rain, right? Now, we do have rain in the forecast early this week, starting later today, tomorrow, ending on Wednesday. We need rain right now. It's crazy dry. People are trying to grow grass. The Kaburski brothers came by my place and put a lot of seed down. I want that stuff to grow. So rooting for the rain. They're not rooting for rain down in the Caribbean right now. Have you seen that at all? Hurricane Melissa. This is Jason Parkin popped this up on the screen last night. I was like, what is that?
I heard that there's some speculation that Jamaica won't ever be the same.
Yeah, it's a Category 5 hurricane, and it's still accelerating. They're thinking it could bring 30 inches of rain and winds at 165 miles per hour. The one piece of good news that I did see is that it looks like it's supposed to the eye of the storm is not supposed to hit the capital of Kingston and thus the population center. But it's, this is a wide storm. I mean, it's going to hit probably that whole island and then the island of Hispaniola, which is Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and then Cuba after that. So Jamaica is, man, they're like everything, battening down the hatches there. It is going to be a big mess. And, you and I have both been to that country, Murph. I mean, that's so mountainous. 30 inches of rain. I can't imagine what the mudslides will look like. And a lot of those homes there, that's not a wealthy country. They're going to be in a lot of trouble. Jerry Seinfeld is coming to Des Moines next. Well, I guess it's technically late next winter, this winter. He'll perform at the Civic Center on Saturday, March 7th, starting at 8 p.m. Tickets go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. I want to go to this show. It's a Saturday show.
That's good. Saturdays are good.
The Civic Center is a really good place to see a comedian, see a show. It has the best acoustics. I mean, it's not the biggest place, but it's really does sound good. I want to hit that. I'm excited that he's coming to Des Moines at that time. In Massachusetts, police say a man wearing a mask and carrying what turned out to be a fake gun, but certainly looked real, walked into a pizza shop on Tuesday of last week. Surveillance video shows the man climbing over the counter and forcing one of the workers to help him open the register. Now, the employees wrestled him to the floor and held him there until police arrived. And you can see that he's wearing a mask here. After the police did arrive, they pulled the mask off him, and it was one of their former managers.
Oh, no.
They recognized him right away. He was, he hadn't just left, but it had been recent enough that they all
knew where everything was.
Evidently, he forgot how to open the register, though, and that I guess that really screwed up his whole plan. Police in Utica, New York, arrested 21-year-old Chloe Sue Stacy last week for vandalizing a car back in August. What made this unique is that they say that she caused some $7,000 worth of damage to the car by attacking it with condiments.
With condiments, just like ketchup, mustard, mayo.
Ketchup, mayo, and eggs. Also, maybe some Chick-fil-A sauce. They're not sure. It may have just been the ketchup and the mayo combining.
Probably could do some damage with condiments.
Yeah, I always heard that that would like peel the paint off a car. Like it would dry, and the acid in the mustard and ketchup would like peel the paint off the car.
I think eggs can do some real damage too.
Well, they definitely make a mess, and then when you walk out and you see that, what do you think? Like, what did I piss off a deli? What did I do?
Murph?
Yes.
That's your time, man. I'm sorry. You got to get to the airport.
All right.
Gosh, time does fly. It is. Yeah.
Good luck.
Hey,
We'll see you on TV tonight.
I'll be there, I think. I hope. I pray. Thank you, guys. It's great being with you.
All right, Murph, safe travels. We'll see him back on Wednesday. Andy, you popped onto the screen. I thought, you have something witty to say about, like, maybe some time when you were younger, you went after some rival's car with condiments?
Nope. Just Jenny texted me, hey, we gotta
go.
Murph the hell out of here.
Oh, okay. I thought you were looking at the clock. Jenny let you know. Okay, let's finish with this, Andrew. Let's go down. This is from Tasting Table, which is a good website that I look at pretty frequently. They came up with a list of the worst Halloween candies that you might actually see on Friday.
Yeah.
Nobody hands out circus peanuts. Nobody hands out Necco wafers anymore. They don't do that. So there's not point in pointing them out in your worst of list. Okay? Now let's see if we agree that these belong on the list. I'm sorry Murph has dropped out a little bit because I know he's got at least a couple of opinions here. Tootsie Rolls. That's on the list.
I don't hate Tootsie Rolls, but the number of them that you get, it's like I need like 2 of these a year. I don't need 45 of them in my Halloween candy bag.
The fruit-flavored ones,
those are great.
Those are fire. Those are amazing. I will never get sick of those. Milk Duds.
I'm not a Milk Dud guy. I know Murph loves them.
He loves them.
They get stuck in your teeth. I like caramel.
I buy him a big box of those at Christmas, and he's all happy. He goes over and sits in a corner and eats them until they're gone. He loves Milk Duds. They're okay. I don't hate them. Where do people put those? Like, they put them in their popcorn? Is that what they do? Is that what they mix?
Yep, and then they kind of melt. They get a little, they get warm from the hot popcorn, and they get a little softer. Because that's the thing, they're so hard. And then when you get them in the little pack, you get like 3 of them inside the little Halloween thing. It's not worth
the packaging. Yeah, there's like they also look like rabbit turds. Smarties. I've come 90 or 180 degrees on these. I used to love them. Now I recognize them as cheap ass candy.
I like Smarties. I'll crush a handful of these.
Can you do something with these too? Like, what do they pour these things into? Some kind of soda or something?
I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could make a cocktail with them.
Yeah, we should ask like a separate poll. What do they do with these candies in prison? Because they probably turn them all into some sort of drugs or alcohol.
Some sort of drug.
Candy corn, definitely.
No, not a fan.
Those are terrible. You know what's worse is like the candy corn flavored pumpkins and like the chocolate bats. Remember those at all?
Just bigger versions of gross candy corn.
Yeah. I think it's called Mellow Cream or something. Boxes of raisins.
Come on, get out of here. It's like giving out a toothbrush on Halloween. You give out boxes of raisins. Just don't turn your light on. Keep your door shut.
Eddie loves raisins. When he was 2-3 years old, when he would ride in the shopping cart, I could put him in there, hand him a big box of raisins at like the beginning of the grocery store, and he would just be just fist to face for the entire time we were in the grocery store. He couldn't have been better behaved with those raisins.
My younger brother at one point when he was a kid was told that raisins help the digestive process move along. And I think he thought it was like immediately. So he would be sitting on the toilet and he'd be like, "Mom, raisins! I need some raisins." It's like, that's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. Hope he's not watching.
What is he doing with the raisins on the toilet? I mean, that's what you got to wonder when you're a parent. Good and Plenty or any kind of black licorice. I love black licorice, but it's very polarizing. Twizzlers.
Nope, not a fan.
I'm not a fan either. They taste like a candy-ish extension cord.
Yeah, and the texture is weird. I'm not a fan of Twizzlers.
The only red licorice I really like, those Twizzlers pull and peels are okay.
Yeah,
the cherry ones. That's just or those any of that Australian licorice. I don't know what it is about the Australians and the licorice. They're really good at that. Cheap ass suckers, especially the yellow ones.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the ones you get at the doctor's office.
Here this time. This is big time parade candy here. Regular double bubble.
My kids love this just because it's gum. They just want gum. But no,
how many chews you get out of double bubble? How many chews?
It loses its flavor in like 4 chews.
Yeah, like 4 chews, I think.
Yeah, the first 2, it's so hard. You're like, and then you get like 2 good chews, and then it's gone.
Screwing up your TMJ.
Yeah.
chewing on this. Dum Dums, another strain of cheap ass suckers.
See, I like Dum Dums. I'm a Dum Dum guy.
Those are cheap, that's
They
for
are
sure.
cheap. They are cheap.
We have a lot. I think Kahala has probably handed out the same bag of Dum Dums for 5-6 years.
And you can see even in this image, that blue one towards the middle, it's the wrappers just come off so easily.
Yeah.
That, you put this in your Halloween bag and like 3 of them are going to be wrapperless by the time you get home.
I like the wild cherry ones. The other ones I don't really care for as much. And then finally, Red Hots. Yeah, I don't like these.
I can't do this. Nah, I can't do the hot candy.
God, John Sears loves hot tamales, the hot
Yeah.
tamales candy. He loves those. Red Hots, lemon heads. I do like lemon heads.
lemon heads.
And then they have grape ones called Alexander the Grape. Remember those?
Those are
were
good.
great.
I forgot that's what they were called, but those are good. Give me
And then-
grape anything. Grape soda, grape candy.
Cherry is my favorite.
Cherry, yeah.
I love those too. When I was a little kid, the cherry lemon heads were called Cherry Chan.
Not
They
anymore.
had a cartoon Chinese guy on there, and then they were called Cherry Clan, which I don't know how they thought Clan was better
Not a whole
than
lot
Chan.
worse. Not a whole lot better.
And then they just are like, okay, they're cherry heads instead of lemon heads, and that
Lemon
you're
heads,
like,
cherry
okay,
heads.
seems like you could have arrived at this one right away. Okay, that is your more, everybody. Yeah, Murph got almost all the way through it.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Want to play a little throwdown?
Yeah, let's do it.
Throwdowns. It's Throwdowns. Backed by Heartland Tire and Auto.
Heartland Tire and Auto, treating you like family in Ankeny, Waukee, Knoxville, Boone, and Creston. An authorized dealer of both Firestone and Bridgestone tires. Andy, we kind of touched on this earlier, but Iowa is scoring more than 31 points a game this season and has the third most points in Big Ten play. Who gets more credit, Tim Lester or Mark Gronowski?
Well, I mean, they're scoring a lot of points. Like, their defense is scoring, special teams is scoring. I mean, they're scoring in all facets of the game. But I think it's Mark Gronowski. This isn't Tim Lester's first year. I think Gronowski, being as mobile as he is, being a really competent, really good running quarterback with a good line in front of him, opens up his passing game, which it should. And he has just gradually gotten better. As he's had better games, the Iowa offense has looked better. So I think it's more him. But I mean, I don't think. I think Tim Lester has been an improvement. I also think that if Mark Gronowski is not playing as well, nobody's given credit to Tim Lester.
Yeah, it's clearly both of them, but you're right. The scheme is only as good as the players who are running it, and Mark Gronowski is the best quarterback we've seen at Iowa in quite a while. Andy, Barstool's Big Cat has a parlay. He has the Dodgers winning the World Series, Ohio State winning the national championship, the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl, and Scotty Scheffler winning the Masters. Which leg of this parlay is most likely to fail?
Whew.
He calls it the "it's gonna happen anyway" parlay, and I think he put like $6,000 on it and could win $200,000.
Ohio State, and then what's between Ohio State winning that and the national title and the Masters?
The Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean those are all feel like pretty
All
safe
favorites,
bets,
right?
but they're absolutely not all going to happen. What's the weakest link?
Mm-hmm. Dodgers lost
Fri-
game one.
Friday night,
Looked
I
good
would
in
have said
game
it's
two.
the Dodgers because
Yeah.
they looked. I mean, the Blue Jays looked phenomenal. But I am going to say I'm not going to pick against Ohio State.
That's what makes this hard. You got to pick against somebody who's likely to win.
I think I'll pick against the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl. I
Yeah.
think they're done with Super Bowls. They're
All right.
still really good.
Hey, a little more Halloween candy talk here, Andy. People are going to be hitting up Fairway all week, getting their bags of Halloween candy to give out to trick-or-treaters. What's more important when you make this important decision? Variety or quality?
Quality.
Some of these bags have, they've got, like this one I'm showing has Starburst and Snick. I mean, this is a pretty quality
That's
bag.
quality, yeah.
But it's good variety. Some of them have, the Laffy Taffy and the Dum Dums and the, a little bit of chocolate, a little bit of fruit candy. Otherwise, you could get like all Reese's peanut butter cups, and that's quality, but not much variety.
Yeah, but the kids want those the most. I think I would much rather have just a great big bag of Reese's peanut butter cups than have a big bag with Smarties and Dum Dums and all the rest of that crappy candy. I mean, you can get a variety of, 8 of shit is still shit. You can, yeah,
Well
dude
said.
from Iowa saying that's a $49 bag of candy right now.
Oh my God,
those are
it's
so
crazy.
expensive. Nuts
Crazy
right now. Yeah, I think it's quality for sure. It's quality. Even if you only have like two different things to pick from, if they're both good things, the kids are happy.
All right, that's throwdowns.
I do love fruit candy.
I do too.
I
would give up chocolate tomorrow over giving up, Skittles and Starburst and Nerds.
That's where I appreciate the variety is with all the fruit candies and stuff like that. When
then I have the thing where when I buy the candy, because we live at the end of a cul-de-sac, a lot of the old people in our street don't turn their lights on, so a lot of kids don't make it all the way down here. So like I'm buying candy to give out, but it's really, at least half of it's staying home. So part of my calculation when I'm buying this candy is, okay, what do I like? But also it's like I don't want a whole lot of candy that I like because it's hard, it's tempting. So it's like, do I get something I don't like all that much? You can tell I've been thinking.
There's a lot of discipline, but I also, don't you want to teach the kids a lesson about class? I may be the only one that likes this, but I have great taste.
Absolutely.
So these kids will learn from me. They should be feel very thankful. Send your Grimaldi's fan photos to Murph_Andy at iowaeverywhere.com. We're doing that we've got another week of those, so keep those things coming in. It's presented by Grimaldi's Coal Brick Oven Pizzeria. 2 locations, West Des Moines and the District at Prairie Trail in Ankeny.
Crash made it out to the Valerius Fall Festival on Saturday in Urbandale, where my kids go to school. We were out there, and there's my kids hanging out with Crash. And check out the Iowa Wild. They're back in action. I think won a game or 2 this weekend, so it was good to see Crash out there.
The playground at Valerius has stepped it up.
Oh, yeah, man.
Wow.
When they rebuilt the school, the playground is incredible.
Yeah, rebuilt that entire school.
To the point where, like, yesterday we went to Walker Johnston. My wife's out of town, so I'm just trying to kill time with the kids. Went to Walker Johnston, and the kids were like, hey, let's go over to the school playground. I was like, you guys get to play there like 3 times a day, every day, and you want to go there on a Sunday? And, hey, that's how cool the playground is.
It's that good a playground.
Get a good playground.
Well, you paid for it. It is time now for the Andrew Downs audio drop of the day. We call it the 80 Squared.
Yeah, powered by Game Day Men's Health. You can find them in Ankeny, West Des Moines, North Liberty, wherever you are. There's a game day near you, and when you go in, let them know that you heard about them on Iowa Everywhere.
I just was there last Thursday. I had my blood test.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go?
Checking my hemoglobin levels. It went really well. Then I got my shot, and felt great.
Got to drink the water when you're on the tee shots.
A lot of water. Yeah, that's the hemoglobin stuff there.
I've had that also.
Had a number of conversations at the Halloween party with other people who use Game Day and have also seen really good results.
Well, Game Day got a shout out during Saturday night's Cyclone Reaction Show on Learfield, which is hosted by our buddy Chris Williams.
Talk to Helmet Guy, who's waiting on the line. What's up, Helmet Guy?
Defense looked good, pinning their ears back. Offensive line was gash, and BYU's defensive line there in that first half. They looked like Chris Williams right after a tee shot from Game Day Men's Health. And second half, we kind of looked like low T Chris Hassel out there. Didn't feel like we had the assignments.
That's a good way to put it. Iowa State looked like Chris Williams in the first half and Chris Hassel in the second.
Yeah, use him as an insult weapon from time to time. Well, the Quickie poll, bringing that up. WCI Pools and Spas. Chad is going to be coming out to my house to tune up my hot tub.
Oh, it's
for
getting
the winter.
time for that.
It's getting time.
Hot tubs
where
are
it
great
feels
all
really
year
good.
round, but once it gets cool, it's ooh.
I shut mine down in the summertime and then fire it up right around now. And then it feels so
In
good.
retirement,
It's
my
cold.
dad does a hot tub every morning.
I have a
It's
lot
like-
of good
it's his-
plans
it's
for
his
retirement.
routine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Start with that. You could end the day with that, too. It makes you sleep really, really well. WCI Pools and Spas has a couple of locations, Urbandale and Ames. Of these 3, which Power 4 college football coaching vacancy is the best job? LSU is running away with this one at 48% of the vote. 30% go with Penn State, and Florida not getting a whole lot of love. Only 22% say they'd like to coach the Gators.
I think you're right, though. That's probably the one job, the Florida job, where if you don't win a national championship in the first 3 years, you're not getting fired.
I mean, they've won national titles there, and they believe they're of that ilk, and they are. And you're recruiting in the state of Florida, so you ought to be expected to be great. I don't think it's the same as those other states where just that is like that gets all the attention those football programs do in those states. Man, they get so much. Thank you for being part of the Murph and Andy show. We appreciate it truly. We're on Iowa everywhere, obviously, if you want to make it easy and to get the show. Just like and subscribe. Don't forget Overthinking coming up tomorrow. We are back on Wednesday. Murph will be back in his home studio, although we think he's moving really, really soon here. He'll be here in Iowa. Let's just put it this way. We hope to see you on Wednesday.